Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Football Plays YouTube channel. Today is Monday, October 13th. We're going to be breaking down some Monday Night Football between the Jets and the Buffalo Bills. Before we get into that, we got to talk about these Sunday afternoon games. We started across the pond in London. Bears -1 against the Jaguars. Get the job done. Big performance by Caleb Williams. 4 touchdowns in that game as the Bears take care of business pretty easily. We had the Packers -5.5 in that route against the Cardinals. Cardinals made it interesting before the half. Came out in the second half, got a field goal as well. But Jordan Love and company, too good in that game. Packers defense really good as well. So they got the job done. Baltimore -6.5. Great game here. I think the final score was 30-23 in favor of Baltimore. Commanders, they were sticking around the entire game. They're a good team. The Ravens are just built different. I think the Ravens, right now, I put a gun to my head. I think I'd say they're the best team in the NFL. Only loss of the day so far. Patriots money line. Had to take a shot on them, right? You had to take a shot on them. Drake May looked decent. 3 touchdowns. Had a couple interceptions. One of them not his fault. Patriots defense, 40 points given up against the Texans without Nico Collins. But to be fair to the Patriots defense, Drake May did not put them in very good situations a couple times in that game. So not all the Patriots' fault. I think they had 3 turnovers, a fumble, an interception, and a turnover on downs inside their own 30. So tough day to be a holder of the money line on the Patriots, but that was the only loss of the day, plus 240 or whatever. Pitt right now, -2.5. They are currently beating Justin Fields, just ran it in again. This man's on fire. 30-7, 28-7 currently, extra point pending with 8 minutes left, so that's going to be a win as well. So 4-1 in the game picks, 3 on the player props, all 3 player props today on Sunday hitting the first half. Jordan Love, over 2.5 touchdowns, plus 210. A.J. Brown, 73.5 receiving yards, finished with 100+. And a score in that game. And then Justin Fields had 43 rushing yards at the half, and he now has 2 touchdowns on the day. So really good on the player props, really good altogether. 7-1 total day now. Here's the leaderboard. 6-1 on the leaderboard, but I didn't count the Pitt game because I didn't know. I didn't really want to jinx myself. I thought I was over, but now it's really over. Pitt's up 29-7. 7 minutes left in the game. There's no way. This Pitt defense has been so good today. So we're going to go 7-1 on the day. Feels great. 45-28 now year to date. Let's try to stay hot going up against going into Monday Night Football here. Buffalo going up against the Jets. The news this week for the Jets, the firing of Robert Saleh. I don't know if it was entirely his fault, but I definitely know that it was mostly his fault. He couldn't produce a lot of wins for this Jets team. They got way too much talent on that roster for them to be losing games. Somebody's got to take the fall for this Jets team. They've had one of the best defenses in the NFL for the last 2 seasons, and you got to find a way to win some game with Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, even though Aaron Rodgers has been the problems at times in some of these games, but I would love to see Robert Saleh be a defensive coordinator somewhere in the NFL. It's always good to have Robert Saleh in the NFL. He's just a defensive kind of guy. He's a football guy for sure. Sad to see him go, but the Jets have moved on. They're going to the interim head coach, Jeff Ulbrich. He's the defensive coordinator for this team. The Jets, I love the move here. I love the move here for the Jets. This is going to be your coach's bump game for the Jets. I'm taking them on the money line to win this game. We're going to see a very low-scoring game, I think. I haven't been very impressed with the Bills over the last 2 games. I don't know what they expected was going to happen. They hardly got any help with the wide receiver position this offseason. They did draft Keon Coleman, but that's just not enough. Keon Coleman, he's just not there yet either. He's made some big plays for this team, but he's a rookie. He needs to get in this Josh Allen system for a couple more years for Josh Allen to really trust him. If we don't see Josh Allen play his best football every single game, the Bills really don't have a chance to win a lot of games this season. The defense has been torn apart as well this year, and that's why I think this Jets team is going to dominate them, especially on the ground. It's one of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL so far in the Buffalo Bills. This is going to be a ground and pound kind of game for the Jets. I think that's good for them. They're going to strap it on, put the hard hats on. They've got the defensive coordinator as their head coach now. Expect this to be a gritty performance. Don't expect Aaron Rodgers to drop back and throw 30-plus times in this game. I don't think that's going to happen. We should see a lot of running in this game. I think the Jets can take advantage of that really bad front four from the Bills, and also expect a very energized team on the defensive side for the Jets. Not every day that your defensive coordinator gets to become the head coach. So give me the Jets here on the money line as the play. Let's go over to the player props, and we are going to talk about one of those players I just mentioned, Josh Allen. Over 32.5 rushing yards going up against the Jets. I talked about it a little bit on the breakdown of the game, but Buffalo really doesn't have anybody to throw to. And sure, they've got some names like Dalton Kincaid, Keon Coleman, Shakir, but Coleman, he can't be trusted. He's a rookie. The Buffalo Bills really haven't gotten their big boys involved yet in the passing game to tie it in. So it's going to be very difficult for Buffalo to get things going through the air in this game. They're going to go up against the #1 passing defense this season. They're only giving out 136.6 yards per game through the air. The Jets are. I mentioned Josh Allen basically has to be Superman in order to win some games. And I think he's going to have to do it again in this game. Hopefully he does it on the ground. I do think he's going to be pressured a lot in this game. The Jets, they might try to ramp up the pressure, make Josh Allen make fast decisions. Maybe he makes some mistakes and just takes off out of the pocket. But last week, we only saw 4 carries. He did have 54 yards, but he was really banged up in that one. He definitely had a concussion last week. He hit his head so hard on the turf, I thought he wasn't going to get up, but he went to the blue tent. A big shift in the game happened one play later, and then all of a sudden, Josh Allen was cleared to play. So that's the kind of guy Josh Allen is. He's a tough son of a gun. That's what we saw last week. We're going to see the same thing out of him this week. He's going to do anything he can do to get his team and win. He's putting his body on the line day in and day out. He's going to put his head down and get some rushing yards this game. The Jets defense, they're good and through the secondary, but the rushing defense, they're giving up 119.2 yards per game. I'll take the big body quarterback here. Put your head down, over 32.5 rushing yards as the play there. And for the final play for Monday Night Football, Breece Hall. This might be the best play so far of the week. Breece Hall, over 54.5 rushing yards against Bills. I thought I had the number wrong. I went back. I double-checked. Sure enough, it's 54.5 rushing yards going up against one of the worst defenses so far at stopping the run. Aaron Rodgers last week, he was horrible. He had 3 interceptions of the year. I'm sure he's not going to do the same thing again in this game, but I also don't think the Jets are going to give him the opportunity to throw the ball more than 20 times. We have a new head coach. I think he's going to keep things on the ground, and there's really no reason for the Jets to throw the ball in this game at all. The Bills have actually been pretty good in the secondary this year. They're only giving up 198 yards per game through the year, but that front four, they're getting bodied day in and day out. 144 yards per game on the ground. The Texans last week, they didn't have a running back, so they actually got a little bit better stats-wise on the ground for the defense, but we saw against the Ravens, Derrick Henry, 200 rushing yards against the Jags. Travis Etienne, 70 rushing yards in that blowout. Another blowout for the Buffalo Bills, but HM for the Dolphins had 96 rushing yards. Both Kyler Murray and James Conner both had 50-plus rushing yards against this Bills defense. So they've been giving up some huge games on the ground. Hall is one of the most talented running backs this season. He has not been used a ton. This is his game to break out. Give me his over 54.5 rushing yards as the play here. Let's go take a look at all the plays. Jets money line against the Buffalo Bills. Coach's bump. Take them here to win this game outright. Breece Hall over 54.5 rushing yards against the Bills. And then Josh Allen over 32.5 rushing yards going up against the New York Jets. Guys, it's going to do it for the NFL plays and props for Sunday, October 14th slated games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.